Hi, I'm Max. A lot of you are asking me about my degrees, right? This is one of the most popular comments that I get, no matter which video I release. Everyone's asking like, how did you get the degrees? Where did you get the degrees from? So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how I got 4 degrees by the age of 24. I will reflect on each and every one of them, tell you whether they were useful or useless in what I'm doing now, which is running a business. And in the end, I will share my thoughts about whether you should go to university, what degree to pick, and maybe my life experience will help you not to make the stupid mistakes that I made. Let's get into this. 10 years ago, when I embarked on this educational journey, I was 15 years old, and I was super indecisive about what to do. I wanted to be an actor at some point, I wanted to be a police officer, I wanted to be the president of Ukraine, which is something that I thought would really suit me. That is cool, so I decided to move to the UK to go to law school. I decided, okay, law would be great. I'm gonna move to the UK, do law, come back, become president. But then I also really was interested in economics and business. And I always, as a kid, I don't know, my grandma taught economics at university, and I just always thought that it was super cool to know how the markets, the economy works, something that is an enigma to other people. I feel like if you figure it out, then it gives you like superpowers. So I decided to do economics of enterprise as a distance learning course back in Ukraine, and law as a full-time course, bachelor's, here in the UK. So I went to Southampton University to do law, and I went to Odessa National Economic University to do economics of enterprise, both at the same time. Now, feedback on both. I found law degree incredibly useful in running a business because it taught me a few things. It taught me how to think critically, it taught me to read and kind of process information quite quickly and like comprehend a lot of stuff, and it taught me to write, which is very, very useful if you want to do something business related, if you want to run your own shop. Law degree, it's not about cases, it's not about the knowledge, it's not about even the law or sense of justice, like all of that, like, okay, I get it, but you don't need to go to law school for that. But it has taught me discipline. I wasn't a very disciplined kid, and it has taught me to read, write, and speak, that I thought was super, super useful, and I find it very useful now as I run my company. The degree in economics was slightly kind of muffled because I was doing it as distance learning. It wasn't very hard. I was getting a lot of preferential treatment back in Ukraine. I found it really, really interesting, but that said, it has little practical use. So to me, the economics degree that I did was a lot of maths and a lot of philosophy. So you would learn about like Capital, Karl Marx, and then Adam Smith, the hand of the market. You would understand things, but that could have been replaced with a book or a few books on economics. I actually have a video on my channel, top 5 books every aspiring economist should read, so you can check that out. So to me, economics degree gives you good maths. I hate maths, so that wasn't super enjoyable for me. And it gives you like 5 books worth of general kind of market theory. That stuff you can easily learn. Then I graduated from law school and from the Odessa National Economic University with degrees in law and economics. And then I decided to jump into business because I was following my personal interests. So around the time when I graduated law school, I started like devouring corporate books about like business biographies. So Amazon, Facebook, IBM, Xerox, like all of them. I was buying books and going through them super, super quickly. I did a few courses in Harvard online school, Harvard Business School like portal, and I just loved it. So I was looking for places that would let me work part-time and do some kind of business masters, and I found Warwick Business School, where I now teach as a guest lecturer in communications. So business school was great. It had a lot of really, really interesting classes. A lot of things were customizable. So because I was masters, I could choose different things. It was that type of just-in-case knowledge for me than just-in-time knowledge. Now, if me now being the creative director of my agency, going to business school, knowing what I'm looking for, I think I would have done much better. But because I was so general back then, doing international business masters, I just ended up being a generalist in a lot of different things, and to be honest, it didn't help me that much. Now, what really helped me was the network that I got. So a lot of my kind of course mates, friends, that was very useful. Everyone was very, very motivated and very interesting. And also professors. I had a pleasure of learning from some of the great kind of academic business minds. That is very specific mind that is very, very interesting to kind of to dig into and to scoop the best info out of them. So I would say for business, it's if you want to run a business, business degree is not something that that you should be doing. So I started looking for something nice, broad, glamorous, well-paid, all of those things. And obviously, I stumbled upon corporate consultancy, right? And I managed to get an interview at a company called Accenture, which I think is by far the best corporate consultancy in the world. And that was super interesting. And I ended up in a very kind of free market capitalist crew, while I've started becoming concerned, as many kind of, I guess you could say, like well-off people becoming concerned with inequality, right? So I was looking at the increase in disparity in income, wealth around the world, and to me it seemed like that was the most important problem that me or anyone else would have to solve in the next kind of decades. So I decided to go to the London School of Economics to study inequality and social science, that's the name of the degree, in sociology department. And it was a very interesting experience for me intellectually, because then I was, you know, corporate consultant, I was thinking about starting my business, and then I was thrown into a very left-wing environment, almost socialist environment, that I pushed back a lot, given that I'm from Ukraine, and obviously socialism was the religion in Soviet Union that ended up killing tens of millions of people, and I think in many ways is pretty evil if implemented wrongly. This time I didn't follow the practicality, I didn't follow my career aspirations, I just wanted to find something that kind of hypes me up and lights me up, and the topic that is very interesting and very narrow. And then I went that and I did it for a year, and it still didn't give me the answers. So again, I would say the degree in sociology, specifically in inequalities, it has broadened my thinking. It made me numb to opposing opinions. So now if you have something I viciously disagree with, I will maintain my cool for a very, very long time, unless it's some kind of a personal attack. That said, again, for the day-to-day life, I think a lot of this stuff I could have probably learned from books. So the thing, frankly, the thing that I got from LSE was that kind of intellectual rigor and thick skin, as well as the brand name to put on my CV, and again, a lot of different interesting connections and so on. So to summarize, if I were to rank my 4 degrees in terms of importance, 1 being the most important, 4 being the least important or the least useful for my day-to-day life, I would probably do the following. 4th least useful is business, then economics, then sociology, and the most useful one is law degree. So just to give you some general advice, obviously my story is just one of the stories, and you could have arrived to where I am following a completely different route. I don't like studying, so I don't know how the hell I happen to have 4 degrees. I actively dislike studying and I actively like working. My life has happened this way, okay? So if I were to start over, I think I would have definitely started doing my own thing earlier, putting myself out there earlier, and studying a little bit less and doing a little bit more while I was at university. But that said, I wish I tried social media, I wish I tried business stuff, I wish I tried actually making something while I was studying. That said, I don't agree with a lot of the propaganda that is coming to us now against universities. I agree with a lot of it in the sense that, for example, if you want to start a business, it's probably not the right thing for you. But the thing about me is I didn't know that I wanted to start a business. I thought that I wanted to work for a big corporate. I thought that I wanted to go into politics, and maybe at some point in the future I will want to do that. But if you want to do your own thing, you don't need a business degree for that. Increasingly, companies that you would like to work for don't require degrees also. That said, there is a question of time in there. So I don't know if in 5 years, in 10 or in 15 years, a degree would be kind of completely obsolete. But I think that moment is coming. I would say that if I were to give like general advice about universities, definitely follow your interest. If you aren't interested in anything and you are just a mess of a person right now, that's fine. I was like that. Go to law school, it would straighten you out and give you options. So I would suggest kind of doing that. And, you know, everyone can give you advice. I can give you advice. Your parents can give you advice. Usually the worst people to listen to, a lot of the times, especially when you're getting older, are your parents, because they have the old paradigm and they have certain expectations of you. So just try to listen to yourself more, try to listen to mentors. But that said, it's for you to kind of make a decision and and follow through. And I hope now you kind of understand my life journey, and hopefully you can learn some lessons for yourself. Also, I'm just 25, so my life journey is actually quite a short journey, so I still know nothing. But I hope that at least some of it has been useful. So as I said, don't listen to anyone, especially your parents. Bye!